I'll take you from leadership now to leading research. You do amazing work on biomarkers in melanoma, and you're pushing the field forward. And we tend to focus on successes, but behind many successes, there are other times where we tried and it didn't work, and we changed and we tried again. How do you personally stay hopeful, protect your own motivation, especially when results are not what you expected and you probably feel this disappointment? What keeps you going?
Yeah, the thing that keeps, I'm not sure if I was very consistent or if I did it on purpose that way, but I think once I read a book from, and I use this analogy many times, the golden circle on your why, how, and what. And actually, without even knowing it, I have a very strong why. Why am I doing whatever I'm doing? And this kind of is what helps me to stay focused and stay motivated, even when things are not the way that I think they, or I would like them to go on. So when things go wrong, I try to go back and think, okay, why am I doing this? Is it really meaningful? Should I continue trying this because the question that I want to answer, it's very important? Or is it something that is just nice to have, but really it's not that important? And if the question is really important, this is enough for me to keep myself motivated. If the question is not so important, that is also easier for me to let it go. So this is how I kind of deal with my failures, that are many, and I try to address, why did I do this? Why did I want this? And based on the answer that I give to myself, it's easier to keep on, or it's easier to let go. So this is my strategy.
Teresa, this actually goes for well-being as well. It's a beautiful bridge to well-being. Before we dive into mentorship, Teresa, I just want to acknowledge how much you carry on your shoulders, balancing research, leadership, and travel, all while staying at the forefront of melanoma care. It's no secret that many oncologists are feeling the weight of burnout these days. We spoke about it in previous episodes. It's one of the mainstays right now of professional well-being, and the ESMO Resilience Task Force has really brought this to light. So I'd love to hear from you. How do you take care of yourself and stay grounded amid all of this?
Yeah, it's not easy, and I don't think I do it very well all the time, but I try to do it well at least 50%, 60% of my time. So what really helps me with all this, say, it's kind of an imposed stress sometimes as well, because not everything is life or death. You can sometimes you can really if you change your schedule, you can also manage your stress. But what I try to do, and this is something that I do pretty much every day, is to have some physical activity. And this is really the thing that keeps me going. It gives me energy. It allows me to be tired physically and to kind of forget about everything that I need to do during this, I don't know, 45 minutes, 1 hour that I'm working out. This is my time and I don't think about anything. By the way, this is sometimes where I get the best ideas. So even if I don't think about it, for some reason they come out during my workout. So this is my let's say, way to keep myself grounded, but also motivated and with energy in the long run. What I do also, and not every day, but pretty much so very often in the week, is to meditate. It's a lot of time, people would say, that you take just to be with yourself and to think about, do the meditation, whatever, however you want to do it or however you do it. But this is actually something that helps me a lot, also to put my thoughts, to organize my thoughts. And actually it gives me energy. When I finished my meditation, I'm energized, and many things make sense to me as well after that. So these two things, it's really what I do most. Traveling doesn't help much on these two aspects, but I try to keep on with this. And I would say that in the last 5 years was actually what kind of saved me. And it's my rescue medicine whenever I'm a little bit overwhelmed or too overwhelmed with everything that is going on. This is what I do.
I
It's
just
it's
want to
amazing.
mention Joanna, I just want to mention that I feel that we're a tribe. Like the three of us, we wake up early, we do exercise, we love doing research, we love well being.
I,
Oh my, we're
I,
like
I
friends
yeah.
from a
Perfect.
lifetime. For real.
I
I
Yeah,
just
just needed
wanted,
to say
yeah.
it.
I think, yeah, yeah, you saw us laughing when you previously mentioned that you're an early wakey. So I'm a 5 a.m.
Yeah.
me too. Me too.
Me
I'm a
too.
5
And
a.m.
when I, and when I met Vilma, she spoke about that, and because every time I say that out loud, people look at me as if I am completely nuts. I felt so comfortable, and I thought, oh yes, that's my tribe. Yes, there is. I mean, we've got evidence that physical activity helps and it boosts our resilience, and that's my
Definitely.
go-to as well. I know that it's my meditation. Basically, it's my medicine, and I lift heavy weights, and that's my
Yeah,
go-to
absolutely.
to
Me
clear
Absolutely.
too.
my mind.
I
So so there you go. I think we can
Oh my God. We
yeah, we
should.
can normalize that. There's nothing wrong when people wake up very early in the morning,
No.
especially if they've got a busy schedule, they've got kids or they've got other commitments, and there's no actual me time during the day. So it's as simple as that. No, lovely, lovely. Thank you for sharing that.
No,
Um,
it's what works for me. All of course, I also need to go very early to bed in the evening. Yeah,
that's my life as well.
yeah. So for social interactions, it's not ideal, but that's what works for me. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
no, I
too.
fully agree. I fully agree. One area that I would love to hear your thoughts on is around you spoke about clear communication, and I think the military probably equipped you with enough assertiveness. So a lot of young colleagues or not so young colleagues may find it hard to say no because when you've got a full tank of energy and you want to do hundreds of things and you see things as opportunities all the time, or one opportunity brings another one and then another one, people find it hard to say no.
hmm.
So how do you say no politely without feeling guilty, or oh my god, am I missing out here? Should I
Hmm.
say no? Should I say yes? What should I do?
So I'm not sure if I have the answer of how to answer. Oh, no, without feeling guilty. I'm not sure if I have that answer. But what works for me, well, depends on the person that is asking you, right? If it's your boss, you can, if possible, and I would say most times it's possible, you can discuss with them what you have on your plate. So I have this and this and this. If you want me to do this, then from all these activities that I have on my plate, which one can I take out so that I can accommodate this new request? And most of the times, this is feasible. You can discuss what is necessary and what are the priorities of the team or what are the priorities of the project. And if something is really necessary, then you need to take something out and you can kind of manage this. And this is the ideal world, right? That you can take something out to bring something in. If you cannot do that, and if this is really important for your career, and if this is let's say, something that has a defined time, sometimes I say yes because I understand that this is starting now and finishing here, and I can accommodate this. It's not ideal, but I will say yes because this is important for me, and this is acceptable to be done in this timeline. If none of these options are possible, what I try to look is, how does this fit into the things that I want to do? Is it really high priority and I need to take something out? Even if I don't discuss this with anybody, I need to take something out because I'm not able to do anything, and not another thing on top of what I'm doing. Or is this not really high priority? And if this is not really high priority, I try to speak to the person and tell, or to whatever, might be a society, might be a community, and I try to give them a feedback saying, like, thank you so much for thinking about me. I'm really interested in this project, and I understand why you contacted me. But at this time point, it's impossible for me to support or to give feedback or to do whatever. Is there any future time point where I can do this, or is this something that needs to be done right now? And if there is a future time point where I can do this, then I will do it in a future time point. If this really needs to be done right now, then people understand I would do it, but at this time point I can't. So this most of the times work. I don't feel that I'm missing out. And if you have this communication, most times people will be willing to ask you again if the opportunity arises, and you will not really be missing any opportunities, because people also understand that you are a person that understands all the tasks that you have already taken in, and you are not taking more than what is expected, right? They understand that you are a responsible person that also is able to manage all these priorities. So I think it works on your behalf if you don't say yes to everything.
Teresa, mentorship really seems to be at the heart of what you lead. I admire that you're participating in the ESMO mentorship program. Actually, one of your mentees is Dr. Pablo Jimenez. He's a good friend of mine. And I think it's a beautiful initiative that connects mentors and mentees from different countries, breaking down those barriers and building meaningful relationships across borders. It's inspiring to see how global collaboration can nurture the next generation. You know, research shows that pivotal good mentorship is important for young clinicians' resilience and professional growth. Is actually something we've spoken about in episode 3 with Dr. Jenny Liu. And we've seen a commentary published recently by BMG Leader on mentoring for leadership development that highlights it as a key factor in building confidence and coping skills during those early challenging years. So, from your experience, what does truly impactful mentorship look like?
Yeah, so I would say that the impactful mentorship is something that really helps you and supports you with in the areas that you need to get support. Sometimes people mistake mentorship with helping other people, which is also that. But mentorship is doing something in or mentoring a person or helping a person in an area where they really need something. Because I can be very good, I don't know, at mentoring or at helping on writing grants, but if the person doesn't really need help there, then my mentorship is not very effective. So I think it needs to be adapted to the person's needs. One thing that I find it is important to distinguish is a mentorship and a sponsor, or a mentor and a sponsor. So a mentor, it's somebody that that supports you, that helps you with whatever struggles you are ongoing, career, personal, sometimes even managing teams. They can mentor, they can support you on that. But a sponsor is somebody that knows you, had contact with you, or you asked for advice, and this person, and I like this expression, says your name in the rooms where you are not present. So this person doesn't really need to be, could be your mentor as well, but doesn't need to be your mentor. But he is the person that when somebody asks, do you know somebody, or do you know, doesn't need to be an oncology, a company, whatever. And this person says your name. He says, no, Teresa is the person that I would go for. Or I know that Teresa can help you on this. Or I know that Vilma will be the right person. Or I know that Ioanna will be the person. Even if they don't know you as well as your mentor, if there is an opportunity, they will say your name. And this is how the sponsorship actually works. It can be also your mentor, but it doesn't need to be. So a combination of mentorship and sponsorship is what I think makes the greatest impact. And you should try to have both of them, not necessarily the same person, but both aspects of this um, lifelong support, because this is not just in one time point of your life. This is something that you need during all your career and all your, even in your private and family life. You will need somebody that supports you, and yeah, that says your name when in rooms where you are not present. That's my understanding. Yeah.
And that's wonderful that you bring this up, actually, and how the fact that you need a mentor, but you also need people who will propose your name when you're not there. That's amazing. Back to my question about intimidation, Teresa. I think I spoke a lot about that. So how what would you advise younger colleagues who feel a bit apprehensive or intimidated again to approach a senior colleague they look up to propose that individual becomes their mentor? Any tip on that? How should they go about that?
I think for somebody that is approached to be a mentor or is approached to give support, what is important is what I mentioned a little bit before, is that you understand what is the support that you need and what you expect that the other person gives to you, right? Because if somebody comes to me and say, would you be able to be my mentor? I would say, yes, but depends on what you need. I cannot mentor you in areas where I have no expertise whatsoever, right? So first you need to be very clear on what you need from the mentoring. And this is one of the aspects from the virtual mentorship program that Vilma was talking before, that we set up inside ESMO. The idea is to, for people that cannot travel or cannot move countries, to still have this support. But one of the things that we request is a clear need definition. What do you need from this program, and what do you need from this person? Is career advice, is a specific aspect on building international network, building a tumor group, building, I don't know, an MTB, whatever. But you need to be very clear, because otherwise it's very difficult for you
Mhm.
to match the colleagues with the person. So this would be my message as well. So don't be afraid to contact this person. Have your pitch ready, your 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then be very clear. I would like your help in X, and for that I'm willing to do this or do that, blah blah, and establish also a communication plan, but also a meeting plan, and stick to that, because people are quite busy, and if you miss one meeting, it's not good. So it should also take that into consideration.
So, Teresa, just to
Mm.
wrap that, mentorship is very important for the mentor as well as for the mentee. That is, there's a dual feedback. It's reciprocal. Both parts receive the gratitude of the moment of learning. And I am a true believer of mentors. We've always have them in our lives, and most of our achievements might have not been possible without them. We wanted to ask you about mentors as well. Do you think that it's something like being a great mentor? Do you require a formal training, or is it mostly something that people develop, over time through experience and reflection?
I think it's a combination of both. There are some programs that help uh, or that can give you some insight on how you can better support the people that are either your mentees or that work with you. But I think it's also something that you can learn by doing and understanding what the others need from you, but also what you can offer. I think one of the most important, I would say, an important aspect that we discussed a couple of minutes ago is really to understand, to have a very deep self knowledge. Because if you don't know exactly what you are able to provide and what you can do, it's very difficult for you to be a good mentor or to assume these mentorship positions. It is different to be a mentor or to be a supervisor or to be, somebody that is heading whatever division that you are working. This is not the same thing as being a mentor. You can learn to be a mentor. Um, but there is some, I would say, personality type that is more prone to become a mentor than other personality types. And it's important for you to understand if you are in this spectrum, or if you just want to say that you are a mentor because this is nice to have when you apply to a new job, or this kind of situation. So I would say that it's a combination of both your personality and how you are. But if you feel that you really want to be a mentor and to become a better mentor, there are programs that help you to learn how to do that.
Thanks, Teresa. We increasingly hear about reverse mentoring, which is about this dual relationship and mentors learning from their mentees around a fresh perspective and new technologies. Do you find that you learn from your mentees?
Definitely, definitely. I learned a lot, not just knowledge, so oncology knowledge, but I also learn a lot about life and new challenges that they have that I didn't even consider. But it seemed a little bit old because I used to hear this from my older colleagues, but it kind of keeps you updated, right? And kind of keeps you alive on what everything that is going on, because sometimes you are so closed on your bubble that you don't understand what is going outside. And having these mentees, it's really a both ways process. They learn from you, but you learn a lot from them. And not only that, you need to keep yourself sharp, because they do really make questions that you don't know the answer for. You need to look for it, and this is a way for you to also keep yourself updated and to learn, definitely. So this reverse mentorship for me definitely exists, for sure.
So, Teresa, before we close, we always like to end with the quick reflection round. Rapid fire answers, big insights.
What is a quote, Teresa, that keeps you going?
So the quote that I always go back to is, "These too shall pass." So if it's very good, it will pass. If it's very bad, it will also pass. So nothing is permanent. This is my to-go quote.
Teresa, if you could write a letter to your younger self when you first started medical school in Lisbon, what would it say?
I would say to myself, and this is a little bit of an imposter syndrome, definitely, but I would say to myself, you are very, very good, and you will keep on being good and trying to do the best. So don't be afraid to not keep up with the expectations. I think I would need to say that to my younger self, because I always doubt a lot about my capabilities, and this was really a struggle. And now looking back, I actually did okay. So that's probably what I would write in that letter.
Who is the next person you hope to open a door for?
I would say that the next person that I hope to open a door for is somebody that is eager to change and doesn't know how to do it and is looking for somebody that can help them. So I hope I can meet this person. And I probably already met somebody like this in the past. And I hope I can keep on opening doors for all these colleagues that feel themselves a little bit of outsiders and they don't know what to start and what to do next. And I would like to open the door for them and let them in, so that they can feel that they belong.
That's beautiful, Teresa. For those listening who feel completely overwhelmed and like they have no time to invest in themselves or their growth right now, what advice would you offer to help them find even a small space for personal or professional development?
I would tell them to put that in your calendar, book that time in your calendar, because if it's in your calendar, it needs to be done. If it's not in your calendar, you mostly will skip it. So if you are a person that feels that you don't have time to do anything, this is my to-go advice. Put it in your calendar and you will make the time because it's there.
A thing that you can share with us that no one else knows about.
I'm not sure if no one, but when I was a kid, I lived in a small village, and I actually had animals, domestic animals, so cows, sheep, and this kind of animal. So everything that you can remember. And one of my favorite things was actually to ride a donkey. We had a donkey as a small when I was small, and I remember this was one of the saddest days of my life when actually he died, and I was not able to do that anymore. And this is one of my sweetest memories from my childhood. So I'm not sure if people know about this, but this is something that probably, yeah, goes out of my personal and professional story, and it kind of shaped me my childhood and where I lived. So yeah.
Teresa, thank you for reminding us that great leadership and mentorship are built on small, genuine acts repeated daily, and that well being is a foundation, not an afterthought.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. It was so, so inspiring and a reminder that mentorship, leadership, well being, interconnected, and resilience in all of that is not a buzzword. It's the foundation of a thriving career in medicine, in oncology, and beyond.
Change can feel overwhelming and difficult, but today we witnessed how one person's commitment to kindness, courage, and connection can create an effect, touching the lives of patients and colleagues in ways that truly matter. To everyone listening, be brave enough to connect, humble enough to learn, and kind enough to lift others while you grow. That's the heart of everything we talk about here in Open Doors podcast.
Thanks so much, Teresa. I do feel re-energized. It was amazing having this honest conversation with you and getting to know you better. And to all our listeners, keep opening doors for yourselves and for others. This is Dr. Ioanna Nixon.
I am Dr. Vilma Pacheco Barcia from Open Doors podcast.
And remember, you belong in the room.
You belong in the room.
Thank you, ladies.